Hey, Internet. Welcome to another episode of Hector and Marina's Comic Book Club. That's the new name of the show.
Yeah, great.
That I just came up with, where we review the Walking Dead comic book.
Yes, we're doing it. We're on volume 10.
That's right. We're back, guys. We're in the beautiful Hyper RPG podcast room.
We're also in the French Alps, if you can see that poster
it's
behind
really,
us.
Really gorgeous. It's been a minute for us, but you guys are going to be getting these rapid fire, but it's been a minute for us.
Mm-hmm.
But we're at volume 10. This is super exciting. To recap, these are Walking Dead comics I've never read. We're reading these, both of us, together for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
This is What We Become.
Yeah.
Okay, volume 10. And I'm trying to remember what happened volume 9, but basically our group of survivors are on the run.
Yep.
The prison fiasco happened.
We met Abraham and Rosita and all that group.
That's right. And Eugene.
Mm-hmm.
And Eugene's like, I got a cure.
Yeah.
And this is the thing where I'm like, I kind of wish I was reading this back in the day and didn't know
before
what happened
you saw
in the show. But yeah, didn't know what happened in the show. Because the show has started to influence how I look at these characters.
Yeah.
Whereas I didn't like Abraham. I kind of didn't like Eugene. And when Eugene shows up, I'm like, I know your deal kind of because of the show. And I can hear the actors are great, and I'm hearing their voices. Mm-hmm. But Abraham, something happens in this volume that wins me over where I'm like, Abraham is a badass.
Right, yeah.
I love this character. So let's go through it. First of all, a major thing that happens is this page right here.
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah.
Look at that. This is Maggie. She's hung herself.
From a tree in the woods.
And Glenn's like, Maggie, where are you?
Yeah.
And I imagine that was the last page of a comic.
Which is like,
crazy.
It's a heavy choice, and they did not do this in the show, but I liked it. I mean, I didn't like enjoy it, but I liked it as a choice in the comic book because it's so realistic. Because like almost very few people in the TV show have like tried to kill themselves, except for we were saying in season 1 when they
in the bunker, she stayed behind.
But other than that, everyone's pretty much like, I'll live in a zombie world forever, and I feel like, no, we wouldn't. Like, so many people would get exhausted.
And they come to these insane conclusions like, I'll live in a zombie world forever, but we have to eat people.
Yeah.
But we have to have gladiatorial games. But I'm vegan, and, we're all vegan. Like, they come to these crazy conclusions instead of just, I'll kill myself.
Yeah, which is so much easier.
If people deal with anxiety and depression in our regular world,
and
suicide's a thing, you would think that characters in The Walking Dead would be committing suicide more
like
often.
Everybody would just be
statistically. And so that is a theme in the comic that the characters are dealing with more. I love this moment too when they come across a house later. They Rick goes inside and sees a family that has like killed themselves. I'm trying to look for the page number.
They do that. This is something that they do in the show, and they encounter it quite a lot. Like they stumble upon a family that like has shot themselves, or like the parents have shot the kids and whatever. And it's like they do a good job in the show of being like, oh, this is like rough city. But I think this is like
but
the
not to
first
the survivors.
Time. Yeah.
This might be the first time that happens.
In the comic.
I think in the comic, in the very beginning, when Rick gets a horse and
he's
going from house to house, he sees another house where like there was like a cross up on the wall, and a father had like a book, and then there was like gunshot wounds.
Yikes!
But then we see that again. Also, love this part in the beginning. Rick has been talking to his dead wife Lori on the phone. Yeah,
which I wish they had. I mean, I know that you can't make that choice in the show because you would hear the actress's voice, which maybe we said before. I can't remember.
You could do certain things to keep a voice vague, but people would go like, oh, "Is that the actress who played the wife, and that's his wife?" Oh,
but we love the choice of having him just carry a phone around with him as a way to psychologically deal with like the fact that his wife died in a way worse way in the comics than she did in the show.
And right here, I don't know if you guys can see, the glare is pretty powerful here, but I've been trying to figure it out. But like
we have extra powerful glare here.
That's Lori's zombified carcass like making out with Rick.
Yeah.
And because he's having a nightmare and then he wakes up. It's pretty great. It's pretty great. Rick is so white we could not see him in the glare. So he's like you're saying, he's talking on the phone, and it's a great moment.
They also have, I love that. I wish they had done it in the show. Oh, and that's how we've said this before, but that's how he and Michonne like bond with each other, is because she also talks to her dead boyfriend, and it's like, they would. I would do whatever it takes to survive. Also in this, from a different season, they encounter those 3 guys who like try to rape. Trigger warning, sorry, yes. Rape. They try to rape Carl.
Yeah.
But in the show, it's those guys that Daryl has been like hanging out with for a while. I think in like season 4-ish. Right. But those guys pop up in this issue in volume 10.
It's gnarly. It's sad. You're getting.
But they're just throwaway characters. Like they're not. They're just like random guys.
And it's important to note that Rick has gotten to a point now where somebody tried to possibly rape and kill his son.
Yeah.
And doesn't do it, but he's like, get away from him. This guy's mine.
Yeah.
And goes to kill him.
Yeah.
Like violently. And Carl, when Abraham's holding Carl sees it, and Carl's like has a look on his face that's kind of like good. Like,
yeah.
And again. Carl, like you're saying, he's not the 14 looking.
Yeah.
He's like 7 or 8. Still.
Yeah, when it happens in the show, he's a little bit older. He looks like he's 14. I'm not sure. But in the comic book, he's like 7. Yeah. So it's like, I'd rip a guy's throat out either way. But still, it's like in the comic book, like we've said before, is very dark. Like
much darker than the show.
Yeah, and much darker than the show.
I think Robert Kirkman, maybe some showrunners on the show have said that like the show goes to darker places, and I'm like, I
no
disagree.
Way, yeah.
I mean, the first time you noticed it was how they dealt with the governor.
Yeah.
The fact that the governor brutally raped and assaulted and maybe tried to mutilate. I forget. Michonne.
Yeah, he tortures her basically.
Tortures her. Like they would never do that.
Yeah. Well, because they alluded to it with Maggie, but they didn't do it. Like he's like, I'ma do it, and then he just decides not to.
And there's and this is what's great about the comic. Now, for me, the comic is superior than the show, generally speaking. And Marina, you got to that point recently.
Oh,
in the comic, right? What was
it
the
had?
thing
Sorry, we're both sick.
We're both getting over being sick.
It was that they had swapped. It was like, for me, it was like TV show comic, TV show comic, TV show comic, and then they were in the same, like there was one issue, I'd have to go back and look, but it was where they met and they were the same. And then the volume after that was like comic book.
Yeah.
But I didn't know if it was going to stay the same.
Yeah, keep talking.
So I like this version a little better than I think the show, which is to say like they met in the middle, and now the comic book is continuing to be superior to the show because it's more realistic. Yeah. Like it's just like
Agreed.
This is what people would do, which is sad because it's like so much darker, but I believe it more. I guess I'm more invested.
I think that the first few volumes of Walking Dead move so quickly, and these past few ones have been slower. Like there's more character pieces. So what I was going to say was that the moment where Maggie tries to kill herself and then is unconscious, Abraham is going to shoot her in the head.
Yeah,
and Rick
that's right.
Him. Rick stops him, and he's like, I have to shoot this woman in the head because she's going to turn into a zombie. But then she wakes up, coughing,
and Abraham is like, oh shit.
And he tells what's her name, Rosita, like, don't let me kill anybody else again. Yeah. He was really, really upset at that. But this great character moment, so far Abraham is a dick, is what I'm saying so far. Then we get to this part where after they go through the night that they went through, the next morning, Abraham says that there was a group of survivors and that they raped my wife and daughter. And he confesses this thing, crying, tears in his eyes to Rick.
And he just kills those men who did that. Like, they're not zombies. He just straight up kills them, which is like, I would too. But he feels bad about it.
And Rick is confessing to him, like, I don't want my son to know what kind of monster I've turned into. And he thinks that Carl can't hear him, but Carl hears everything. And then Carl's like, when I killed your friend Shane, like...
Yeah, Carl's like, remember when I shot your best friend?
And they have this incredible bonding moment, this character moment that when the comic book started and you saw that little kid Carl had shot Shane, you didn't like it. Because you were like, in the show, it was Rick killing his best friend, which is like powerful.
Yeah.
And him being a little kid, Carl being a little kid.
I didn't think there was going to be any emotional consequences for him. But here they are, a couple volumes later. Yeah,
he's this messed up little kid.
Yeah,
and we're finally getting it once Robert Kirkman has taken them out of the prison. Yeah, and it's they're on the run, and it's just character moment. So those are the main things that happen. The other huge thing that happens in this book.
Oh yeah,
is they come across
Morgan,
which again, also kind of wish I read this before the show.
Yeah.
Because I know in the show that Morgan eventually comes back from episode 1, season 1.
Yeah.
So to see him there, I'm like, I can hear the actor's voice, which is, I love the actor. He's a fantastic actor.
Yeah.
But same thing, he's got his son chained up.
Yeah.
As a zombie.
Which is the same thing that the governor does, except Morgan's not making out with his kid.
Yeah.
So slight difference.
God. Oh my God. So Morgan joins the group. He kills his zombified son, joins the group. As they're going back to where they were, they come across like a horde.
Yeah, okay, so in season whatever, they have that big valley of zombies. So I'm thinking this is where they got that inspiration from for the show.
Again,
from
apologize
this.
for the glare. Look at all of that glare.
I'm basically a ghost.
It's real blown out. Is there anything we can do about that, Lucas?
I mean, I am a ghost.
Yeah, you
like,
are.
I was sick. I died.
You died 40 years ago. Thanks
40
for
years
coming
ago.
back to do
Yeah,
this,
I have come back
podcast.
from the
That's
grave
great.
just to review this comic book.
But the huge horde you were saying, Marina, what about
Oh, yeah. So I think they got the idea for the Valley of Walkers from this part in the comic book. But they just changed it slightly. I actually like this version better because it makes it... They're out in the open, and it makes it that you can run into this anytime. Whereas in the show, it was like, oh, well, they're all in this valley.
They're all in the ravine or all
If
in the
we
valley.
never encounter another valley, we'll be fine. But this is like, no, you can encounter a horde at any
Anytime,
point,
yeah.
which, oddly enough, is what they did in Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Which is like
early on.
Not our favorite.
No. But I guess
Zombie
in that
show.
They're trying to explore some of those ideas.
Yeah, so
It's the
good
same
job,
world.
Fear the Walking Dead, which is like a rare thing we can say.
Yeah, I guess. So that's what happened. They're heading back to the house, and everybody's telling Dale and the rest of the survivors to get back to, like, they need to leave because the horde's coming. And Dale reluctantly agrees and goes, I worry about Rick. I don't know if he's a good leader.
Yeah.
And
So
the other thing to note, too, is that one of the twins or one of the boys, like, killed a cat.
yeah, but also, who cares about the twins?
Exactly. They're weird.
I mean, I can definitely see why they did not put them in the show, because every time I something happens with them,
just
I'm like,
like,
why are they there?
Who cares? Who cares? Anyway, so that's what's happening. They're about to try to run from where we're leaving off the end of Volume 10, What We Become, is they're trying to escape this horde.
That's on the way, and Dale is like, I'm gonna mope about it, which is like, okay, well,
Dale's great. Dale's great. It's a great character. You need characters like that, Marina. Dale's great. Dale's awesome. You'll see. Okay.
Okay.
So that's what's happening at the end of this. What do you think, Marina, is going to happen in Volume 11, Fear the Hunters?
Okay, so one, I don't love this cover. You can't see it anyway. It's okay. We're all ghosts. But there, you can't see, but there's a guy behind a tree. I wonder, having not read this, if that guy behind the tree is the boot guy from season
7. Season 6, season 7.
What season are we in currently?
7?
7?
think.
Yeah. Whatever. The one that's on TV right now.
Yeah.
There's a boot guy.
Nobody knows who he is.
Nobody knows who he is, so maybe this guy is boot guy.
I know what happens in this. It's awesome. We're going to be talking about it next week.
Yeah.
But any other final thoughts on What We Become? How are you liking it?
I like it, man. It's
Yeah.
dark, but I like it because
Yeah.
it's real.
Yeah, it's real fucked up.
Yeah.
Guys, tell us what you liked the most about The Walking Dead Volume 10, What We Become. Tell us something that we missed, something that you want to talk about.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite character? Who's your favorite character right now?
Oh, and the
Is it Rick? Is it Carl? Is it
no,
Glenn? Is it
I don't.
Abraham? Is it
Michonne.
Michonne's always going to be the favorite.
Yeah.
Michonne's solid.
The
She's
guys
really
are.
good.
There's like too many men, and they all stink right now.
They're very stinky. My favorite in this is probably Abraham.
Yeah.
Because, and again, it's a vast improvement than TV show Abraham, the character, I feel.
Oh, I like TV show Abraham. I'm the only
He's
one.
bald, like, I mean, I don't know. This guy's a badass. He's a badass. He's cool.
Tell
All right, guys.
Tell us if you prefer TV Abraham
Yeah.
or comic book
Great
Abraham.
question. Great question.
I'm betting I will be the only one who prefers TV Abraham.
So far, you got to read Volume 11.
Okay. All right.
So we'll be back next week, guys, on Hector and Marina's Comic Book Club.
Bye.
Bye.